Okay, so tonight in Clear's Tai Chi, what we worked on was in the moment training. And in the moment training is this idea that a lot of people, when they do their form, they go, I'm going to move up, and then they move up. And then I'm going to move down, and I move down. And I'm going to move up, and I move over. And I'm going to move in, and then I sink. And then I move up, and now I move down. And you can see it in their set. If you watch them close, you'll see this up, down, over, over. And there's sort of this, they're not quite, obviously really bad, it's complete stick figure. But you get somebody even that their form is kind of fluid, and you see these places where you see sort of a change from one thing to another. And you see the change as this break from that one thing to another. And it's not ideal. Now, when I say that, there are certain things where maybe you were trying to get a break, like if this is a whip hand, for instance. But ideally, what's happening in the moment is that I'm enjoying the experience and really feeling and working with what's going on, and it's building high-level listening skill so that you're really paying attention and can feel what's going on inside, and you're also getting a better sense for the action of the body inside and out, which is one of the things that Tai Chi really uses. So if I'm sinking and dropping, I'm not thinking about getting to the bottom. I'm really feeling the release, the relax, the expansion or contraction, or both in alternately, and the place where, let's say it was contraction and then expansion, I feel the change as a thing, right? And so it's got its own place. So it's not like I was contracting and now I'm expanding. It's I'm contracting and now it's starting to level out, and then I'm starting to go the other direction, starting to go the other direction. Or as I'm going in, it's starting to level and then move, and preparation or going towards expanding. Now it's expanding and it's settling and it's settling and it's settling, and then it gathers or begins to gather, and it's gathering and it's gathering, and it's rising up, and then it's rising up and it's rising up. And so if you're going to move, let's say this one to the next one, it's that this whole piece of the movement is an action, and so it is with the other one too, that it's all of this, the aspect of the whole movement, the change is this big movement when you're in the moment with it, because it takes all this, there's all this action in there to itself. So the change is actually as important and as big and as many different things going on or more than there are in just a straight action. It's also, I don't think ahead to the point of arrival. It's I'm going there, I'm going that way, I'm going that way, and all of the activity that's going on with it. And if you start to do that, your form will take on a whole lot more meaning, and your depth of what's going on in there will really expand and change and grow, and you can use it for health stuff. And also on the self-defense side, or on the like, we'll use the pushing on it. Use your fist here, I guess would be the way to do that, and put your other hand there, but make sure they can see in here. That if somebody's trying to shove you where it's blah, and you're in your whole body process and feeling what's going on with them, go ahead, like this. It's really, really, really easy to win that, because you're not trying to go to, stay there and respond well. I'm not trying to go over where I'm already like thinking, oh, I'm in there shoving and trying to get there. I paid attention to the whole process. And so when I'm doing the whole process, put your hand back on there. Okay, continue. So right now he's thinking about how he doesn't want to be up there instead of looking at, right, see the changes? You couldn't change it as long as your mind was over here. But as soon as I did this and said, get your mind back in you and what's going on, where are you bunched up you don't need to be? Where are you bunched up that's responding to something? And he is already noticeably more powerful because he did those changes. And so for me, I can feel that bunching up, and notice I didn't have to do even tense to it to catch him in it. Like that. Right? And then it's this idea of in the moment the whole time.
But if I could have got back in the moment, I would have.
Yeah, so I put you back in there, helped you get back in there, which gave you a better chance of that. And then, of course, I was starting to come out of mind, went back into being in the moment completely, and it does that. And so you can kind of get a sense of it that way. The most that I've used it in a real situation, for those of you who've had the experience of being in a really bad car crash and time slows down and then you responded in a way that saved your life, and it felt like, oh, for me the one was I turned the wheel so that the car would spin instead of the car getting crushed through. And I was doing it going, I'm turning, and I wasn't like trying to do this, it was just, it happened. I'm turning the wheel, the car that's crushing through the front, I'm turning the wheel. Oh, the whole car is turning sideways. And it was just every little moment of what was less than 5 seconds felt like 2 minutes. And so every little part of it was right now, in that instant. And it saved my life and the lives of the other people in the car. None of us damaged at all. And the front of the car had a gash in it, and the radiator was split in half, and the front hood was higher than the front of the car, than the roof of the car, to give you an idea of it. So very important and high-level concept. It also gets you to the idea that they talk about Tai Chi people knowing what the other person's going to do before they move. And it's because when you're in the moment, every little thing they start to act on, especially if it's ahead of the game, ahead of where they are, you really are able to perceive it like almost like it took them all day to decide to get there. Now that doesn't come the first time you do it, but it gets to that. Okay.